And he likes butt now. He don't like it no more. He likes butt. And I've honestly always thought that Blueface swung for the other team simply because of his hatred for women. I just always felt like Blueface, when given the opportunity, he was gonna take some ass. They're more loyal. Men are more loyal to him.
Oh, buckle up, because this latest Blueface disaster makes every season of Love and Hip Hop, every Zeus meltdown, and every Kardashian spinoff look like quiet meditation sessions. The internet thought Blueface hit rock bottom months ago. But baby, the man just pulled out a shovel, dug through the floor, and kept going. Because out of nowheres, and I mean out of nowhere, his jail bay has popped up like a final boss side quest. NPC revealing the plot twist nobody ordered, but everybody secretly wanted, and she's not whispering. She's not hinting. She's not respectfully addressing. Nope. Sis is confessing like she's auditioning for a Netflix true crime special titled I Survived Blueface's Promise Ring. According to her, Blueface wasn't just flirting behind bars. He wasn't just entertaining. He wasn't just being his usual Olympic-level menacing self. He was out here running a full marriage promise scam so messy it makes Tinder swindler look like a loyal church volunteer. She's spilling dates, screenshots, phone calls, commissary receipts, and emotional trauma like she's in a courtroom powered by pure chaos. And the wild part? Every detail is wilder than the last. Grab your popcorn. This scandal's about to punch through the internet. Because Blueface's jail bay didn't just talk. She detonated everything. Blueface's latest chapter of chaos opens exactly the way his scandals always do, with everyone online minding their own business, sipping their coffee, scrolling peacefully, until suddenly a random woman appears on social media claiming she's his jail bae. At first, people thought she meant she wrote him one letter and he sent back a copy and paste thank you. But no. She meant she was up late at night sharing secrets with him on monitored phone lines like they were the Bonnie and Clyde of correctional romance. The internet laughed for 5 seconds, until she dropped information so specific that even Blueface's biggest haters paused like they just got hit with a surprise math test. She started describing conversations that sounded way too real. The kind of conversations where Blueface allegedly wasn't just smooth talking. He was out here acting like he was the CEO of Forever Love, Inc. She claims he told her she had wife energy, which is hilarious considering this man's idea of romance is arguing on live and dodging household objects flying at his head. But according to her, he promised she'd be the first person he'd see when he got out, as if he hadn't said that same line to at least 3 other women by lunchtime. Then came the bomb nobody expected. She said Blueface promised her marriage. Actual marriage. Not DM flirting. Not I miss you. Not send pics. Marriage. The internet nearly combusted. People typed ha 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 in capital letters until their keyboards gave up. Because Blueface, married? That's like saying the Grinch is applying to be Santa's assistant. It makes 0 sense, negative sense, scientifically impossible sense. But she wasn't backing down. She came with voice notes, timestamps, and emotional energy like she was unveiling government documents. She said Blueface told her she was his peace, his soulmate, his future, and the only person who gets him. Meanwhile, fans were like, sis, he doesn't even get himself. But every time someone doubted her story, she came back with even more details. She described the exact days he called. She described the way he talked. She described the fake deep philosophical nonsense he allegedly said, which sounded so Blueface-ish that even critics had to admit she might be telling the truth. That's when things escalated. She revealed that Blueface allegedly told her not to talk to any other men, not to date, not to post anything thirst trap adjacent. Basically, he wanted her to be loyal, like she was auditioning for a nun position at the Church of Bad Decisions. All while he sat in jail balancing multiple women like it was his side hobby. The hypocrisy wasn't just loud, it was screaming into a megaphone while standing on a table. She says she took it seriously. She believed him. She told her family that she might be getting married when Blueface got out. Yes, she actually prepared people like there was going to be a ceremony with chairs and a bridal aisle and vows. Meanwhile, Blueface was probably eating ramen in his cell telling another girl the same story. The internet didn't know whether to laugh, cry, or host an intervention. But the plot wasn't done twisting because then she said Blueface didn't just talk marriage. He allegedly asked her to send money. Commissary money, phone funds, favor money, Basically, she became his unofficial ATM with emotional attachments. She claimed she spent hundreds trying to support the man she loved, which is the polite version of saying she paid for his jail snacks while he sold her dreams like they were 2-for-1 coupons. The internet sat there blinking like this was the world's messiest rom-com gone wrong. Then she claimed Blueface made her top priority. He told her things like, "You're different, you're what I needed, and when I get out, everything changes." If that sounds familiar, it's because it's the exact script every lying man uses before disappointing someone immediately after parole. Fans were already making memes saying Blueface was in jail, running relationship scams like a discount motivational speaker. But the plot got even spicier when she claimed she wasn't the only one. She said Blueface hinted about cutting off other women, which was a hilarious red flag because Blueface cutting off women is like the sun cutting off daylight. It simply doesn't happen. She said he told her she'd be the queen of his life once he was released, which was a bold promise considering his life is currently a rotating circus of arguments, live streams, and public meltdowns. But she believed every word because he made it sound genuine, real, and urgent. Then came the moment that had social media gasping like they just witnessed a plot twist in a telenovela. She claimed Blueface asked her to prepare a venue. As in, allegedly choose a place where they could celebrate when he got home. People online were screaming, "Girl, he hasn't even proposed to the women he's actually dated outside of jail." But she insisted he said they'd have a small ceremony, something private, something intimate, something that sounded suspiciously like a man making stuff up while bored in a cell. She said she told him she couldn't afford a venue. And according to her, Blueface told her he'd pay her back once he was out. That line alone could have been a stand-up comedy special. Fans joked that if she believed that, she probably believes mermaids have LinkedIn profiles. But she was convinced he meant it. She said he spoke from the heart, though critics argued he was probably speaking from the commissary. Then she revealed another shocking twist. Blueface allegedly warned her not to speak publicly. He told her that if she told anyone, people would ruin it. Which is convenient, because nothing protects a fake promise better than secrecy. She said he didn't want the internet to ruin their love. Which sounded poetic until you remember this man. Goes viral for drama every 48 hours, like it's a subscription service. She claimed she stayed silent because she genuinely cared for him. She believed he needed her. She believed she was helping him through a hard time. But as the weeks went on, she noticed inconsistencies. Blueface would forget things he said. He'd make promises on Monday and contradict them on Wednesday. He'd ask her for loyalty while disappearing for long periods. She said she started to feel like something was off, like she was being manipulated. That's when she discovered the final blow. She wasn't the only jail bae. She wasn't even the backup. She was somewhere between number 3 and number 7 on a roster Blueface allegedly managed like he was running a fantasy football league. When she realized this, she didn't cry. She didn't scream. She went nuclear. She said she felt used, embarrassed, and played by a man who treated romance like a clearance aisle sale. So she pulled out the receipts. Voice calls, screenshots, timeline breakdowns. And she went public. The internet spiraled instantly. Fans grabbed popcorn. Haters wrote essays. Meme creators clocked in for overtime. And Blueface? He was nowhere to be found. The silence was so loud you could hear a pin drop in the middle of the timeline. And that's exactly when everyone realized. This wasn't just another Blueface scandal. This was the start of a meltdown nobody saw coming. The moment the receipts hit the internet, social media didn't just react. It erupted like someone threw a Mentos into a 2-liter bottle of Blueface's entire life. Comment sections turned into digital boxing rings. People were tagging their friends like, "Wake up, bestie, the circus is performing again." And the wildest part? Every screenshot she posted made the situation look even more unhinged. It felt like watching a reality show filmed by someone who forgot to wipe the camera lens, but remembered every messy detail. Fans were suddenly comparing Blueface to the Tinder swindler, but with worse math skills and a smaller budget. Others said he was basically running a relationship pyramid scheme from behind bars. New recruits join, old recruits cry, everyone loses money, and he gains more snacks. People joked that Blueface could create a whole course titled How to Sell Dreams 101, and it would enroll faster than college classes. The memes were so savage that even people who didn't know who he was clicked in just to enjoy the chaos. Then celebrities started chiming in. Influencers posted reaction videos with expressions so dramatic they looked like they were auditioning for soap operas. Even washed-up rappers who haven't had a hit since flip phones existed decided to comment, hoping for a moment of relevance. Some said they weren't surprised. Others claimed this was peak Blueface behavior. And a few insisted the story was fake. Until she dropped the clip that sounded way too much like him sweet-talking from a jail phone, like he was reading poetry off a bathroom wall. The more she revealed, the worse Blueface looked. She claimed he wasn't just promising marriage, he was promising a full fairy tale life. A house, a future, stability, as if he wasn't the same man who argues with every woman he's ever met like it's a competitive sport. People online said the only thing Blueface should be promising is an apology tour. But according to her, he was painting dreams so bright they needed sunglasses. Then came the moment that sent shockwaves across every platform. She claimed Blueface told her she'd be the mother of his next child. Social media collectively screamed. Everyone knew this was the most irresponsible storyline he could possibly add to his already overcrowded drama universe. People were posting reaction memes of characters fainting, screaming, and throwing phones across the room. Someone posted, "Blueface promising kids as casually as people promise to show up on time and then show up 3 hours late." The internet had no chill, but she wasn't done. She revealed that Blueface allegedly had her doing tasks like she was part of some emotional internship program. He'd ask her to send inspirational messages, check on him daily, update him on drama happening outside, and hype him up like she was his personal therapist with unlimited minutes. People said she wasn't his jail bae, she was his unpaid customer service agent. The level of manipulation she described had folks comparing Blueface to every toxic fictional character ever, from Joe Goldberg to Joffrey Baratheon. At this point, the internet started clowning Blueface so hard that even his most loyal supporters began distancing themselves. The man's entire reputation was being roasted like it was Thanksgiving dinner. Tweets flew in saying things like, "Blueface treats loyalty like it's a Wi-Fi signal, strong when convenient, non-existent the moment someone needs it." Others joked that he had more women than he had working hit records. The ratio was embarrassing. Then, public outrage grew even stronger when she claimed that Blueface allegedly played women against each other. According to her, he'd hint that someone else was trying to ruin their relationship, creating tension between women who didn't even know each other. Fans called it toxic chess, a game where the only prize is emotional damage. People compared it to those messy MTV dating shows where contestants fight for a guy who isn't worth the hotel room they're staying in, and then came the biggest twist. She revealed messages where Blueface allegedly admitted he didn't know what love was until her. The internet exploded into laughter. Blueface acting like he's the male version of a Nicholas Sparks character was too much for people to handle. One tweet said, "Blueface reading lines like he's starring in a dollar store romance movie." Another said, "This man loves chaos more than he loves anyone." The sarcasm was endless, but she kept dropping receipts like she was dealing Uno reverse cards straight into his reputation. One of the most outrageous claims was that Blueface allegedly wanted her to cut off friends who didn't support them. People were like, "Support what? The imaginary wedding?" That line alone caused another meme wave titled, "Blueface's Wedding That Will Never Happen." It was brutal, hilarious, and completely unpredictable. Then she alleged that Blueface told her not to worry about his past, that he was turning over a new leaf. Which was ironic because every time Blueface turns a new leaf, he ends up planting a whole new tree of drama. People online were comparing him to a walking tornado that blows through relationships, leaving debris everywhere. Someone commented, "Blueface turning over a new leaf? That leaf got blown away years ago." As the chaos intensified, fans began tagging Chrisian, Jaden, and every woman ever connected to Blueface like they were detectives calling in backup. Chrisian's name trended for hours without her even saying a word. People speculated how she'd react if the story turned out true. Would she laugh? Would she cry? Would she ignore it and go live to shout at a random commenter? No one knew. The mystery made the scandal even juicier. Then came the TikTok edits. People were posting dramatic compilations of Blueface's scandals like he was the main character of a tragic comedy. Slow motion clips, sad music, dramatic narrations. It was a whole cinematic universe of disasters. Some even mocked the alleged marriage promise, showing Blueface in front of wedding decorations edited so poorly they looked like a middle school project. It was instant viral gold. Even bigger accounts started analyzing the situation like it was a case study. They broke down timelines, compared screenshots, and highlighted inconsistencies like they were unraveling a conspiracy. People were debating whether Blueface intentionally manipulated her or was simply bored and chaotic. But most agreed it looked like he was juggling women like he was auditioning to be the world's worst magician. Then the comments turned savage. Users said things like, "Blueface talks to women like he's handing out relationship coupons that expire in 24 hours. Others joked, "This man couldn't stay loyal if you locked him in a room with no Wi-Fi and no visitors." The internet was relentless. The dragging turned into a community event. But the most outrageous reaction came when someone uncovered old clips where Blueface claimed he was done with relationships. Fans stitched that clip next to the jailbay's claims and wrote, "This didn't age. It expired." The video hit millions of views in hours, all while Blueface kept silent, watching his name burn up the trending feed like a meteor entering the atmosphere. And the silence made everything worse. When celebrities stay quiet, it usually means they're ignoring drama. But when Blueface stays quiet, that means the scandal is big enough to temporarily shut down his addiction to chaos. People took his silence as confirmation. Others took it as strategy. A few took it as him being asleep. But either way, it created the perfect storm. She continued releasing more proof. Fans kept making more jokes. And the timeline became so chaotic that even people who had Blueface muted ended up seeing the scandal anyway. That's how loud it was. And just when everyone thought the story couldn't get any more insane, the aftermath began. The moment the dust started settling, the true aftermath hit harder than any punchline the internet had thrown. Blueface's silence wasn't just silence anymore. It was a full-blown alarm bell echoing across every timeline. People were analyzing every minute of his inactivity, like detectives assessing crime scene footage. Every hour he didn't respond felt like another layer of guilt was being glued onto his name. Fans were counting down like it was a live event. Hour 14, still no denial. The suspense became its own show. As the jailbay kept speaking, her tone shifted from emotional hurt to fiery confidence. She told everyone she was done playing the quiet sweetheart and ready to expose everything. Suddenly, her page transformed into a press conference powered by heartbreak and revenge. She unpacked the manipulation, exposed the contradictions, and explained how Blueface allegedly treated loyalty like it was a temporary subscription plan. The internet devoured every update like it was a new episode released at midnight. Meanwhile, Blueface's fanbase split into factions. One group claimed she was exaggerating. Another insisted she was telling the God's honest truth. And the last group didn't care about anything except the entertainment value because Blueface's life has turned into the most consistent reality show without a filming contract. People said the man didn't need a network. His drama aired itself. Then came the impact on Blueface's reputation. Music pages started roasting him, saying he had more scandals than he had successful singles. Blogs joked that he could release a mixtape titled Promises and Commissary, and it would chart purely off chaos. Even people who had no relationship with the hip-hop world were suddenly invested. Blueface wasn't trending. He was orbiting social media like a dysfunctional satellite. The women in his life, especially Chrisian and Jayden, became part of the conversation whether they wanted to or not. The internet dragged them in like unwilling guests on a talk show. People speculated how each woman felt watching a random stranger claim she had been promised a full marriage package. Comment sections were filled with, "Oh, they're definitely seeing this. Chrisian gonna explode," and "Jayden probably laughing while eating cereal." The imagination of the internet knows no boundaries. But the real kicker came when analysts started pointing out patterns in Blueface's past behavior. They broke down his history like they were doing a forensic audit of his personality. People noticed how he managed to create emotional chaos with women the way chefs create signature dishes, consistently and with questionable ingredients. Commenters said he didn't date women. He recruited them for trauma bonding sessions. The jailbay's claims became the centerpiece of the cultural conversation. Whether she was right or wrong didn't matter. What mattered was that she struck a nerve. She represented every woman who ever believed a man's bare minimum sweetness while ignoring the blazing neon red flags waving in the background. Her story quickly turned into a cautionary tale about trusting jailhouse fantasies. People joked that falling in love over a correctional phone call was the modern-day horror movie plot nobody asked for. As Blueface's silence continued, the pressure increased. His name started popping up in think pieces, reaction videos, and podcast discussions. Hosts debated whether Blueface was truly manipulative or simply chaotic with no long-term plan. Some believed he was intentionally running a scheme, while others argued he couldn't plan his way out of a paper bag. Either way, the narrative painted him as someone incapable of forming stable bonds without turning them into explosions. Then came the financial rumors. Fans began speculating whether Blueface was using these women for money. They connected dots between his legal issues, his lifestyle, and the alleged requests for cash. Meme pages posted fake ads like Blueface University, learn how to sell, dreams and collect commissary donations. The internet was vicious and didn't stop for a single second, but the most devastating consequence wasn't the memes or the comments. It was the credibility hit. Blueface's entire image as a player started looking less like confidence and more like desperation. The idea that he needed to create emotional illusions behind bars made him appear small, even pathetic. People joked he had downgraded from a rapper to a romance scammer with Wi-Fi access. His image didn't just wobble, it toppled, and meanwhile, the jailbay was gaining sympathy. She wasn't being treated as a clout chaser anymore. Instead, she was seen as someone who got caught in the gravitational pull of Blueface's chaos. She positioned herself as the emotional survivor of a situation that spiraled beyond her control. Every emotional line she delivered strengthened her image while weakening his. The public loves a victim-turned-warrior, and she was scripting that arc perfectly. Then the speculation started. People began asking whether Blueface would address the situation once he got out, or if he'd pretend none of this ever happened. Fans imagined him hopping on live, acting confused like he wasn't allegedly juggling a whole roster of penitentiary love interests. They joked his first words would be, "Who's she?" as if 100 screenshots didn't exist. The predictions were hilarious and merciless. But quietly, behind all the entertainment, something deeper was shifting. Blueface's relationships with the women closest to him were now under a microscope. The jailbay story forced everyone to reevaluate how he treated partners. The narrative shifted from Blueface the drama king to Blueface the emotional tornado, leaving a mess in every direction. That shift was powerful and extremely damaging. As public opinion swayed, fans started rallying behind the idea that Blueface needed accountability. People suggested therapy, PR training, or even a hiatus from dating entirely. Some joked he should be banned from phones until further notice. Others said he needed to take a vow of silence for the safety of humanity. Even supporters agreed that he needed to stop running his love life like an improv comedy show. But the jailbay wasn't finished. She hinted that she still had more information. More messages, more receipts. The internet collectively gasped, waiting for what she'd reveal next. Her confidence grew with each post, and people sensed she enjoyed the power shift. For once, Blueface wasn't controlling the narrative. She was. And she wielded that power like she had been waiting her whole life for this exact moment. The longer she held the spotlight, the more unpredictable the situation became. Blueface's team remained silent, leaving the public with nothing but speculation. Bloggers praised her for speaking up. Critics attacked Blueface's character. Fans rewatched old clips with new eyes. The man's entire brand was being reinterpreted in real time, and that's when the ultimate question began circulating. If Blueface could allegedly run this level of relationship manipulation from behind bars, what chaos will he unleash once he's out? The uncertainty alone was enough to make people stay invested. It was the kind of scandal that had no closure, only cliffhangers. The internet loves closure, but it loves suspense even more. And Blueface's story now had the perfect ingredient: unpredictability wrapped in disaster. Everyone wanted to know what would happen next. Would he deny everything? Would he blame her? Would he laugh it off? Or would he escalate the drama like he always does? His entire future looked foggy, messy, and tangled in scandal. And for Blueface, that's practically a personality trait. His reputation was cracked, his relationships were questioned, his loyalty was mocked, and his silence was louder than all the noise combined. The jailbay didn't just spill tea, she spilled boiling lava on his entire public image. And as the timeline continued to refresh with jokes, theories, and chaos, one thing became crystal clear. Blueface wasn't escaping this scandal anytime soon. His name would be attached to the marriage promise scam forever, like an embarrassing tattoo he couldn't laser off. And in the world of viral drama, that kind of stain is impossible to wash away, especially when the entire internet watched it unfold in real time. And there you have it, another chapter in the never-ending, high-budget, low-logic movie known as Blueface's life. A scandal so messy it deserves its own theme song, its own merchandise line, and honestly, its own warning label. If this situation taught us anything, it's that love letters coming through correctional phone lines should come with a disclaimer that says, proceed at your own emotional risk. Because after watching this circus unfold, even Romeo and Juliet would side-eye each other and ask for receipts. Now, before you run off to binge more chaos on your timeline, do me a solid, smash that like button like it owes you commissary money. Break it the same way Blueface breaks promises. Quickly, loudly, and with zero hesitation. And if you're new here, hit that subscribe button like you're signing up for weekly doses of premium-grade drama straight to your soul. This channel stays dropping scandals more consistently than Blueface drops women from his imaginary loyalty roster. Drop a comment too. Tell me whose side you're on, what twist shocked you most, and whether you believe Blueface is genuinely confused or professionally chaotic. I read the comments the same way Blueface allegedly reads relationship advice, emotionally, dramatically, and with popcorn in hand. Share this video with a friend who swears they'd never fall for jailhouse romance. Educate them, save them. Protect them from ending up in a scandal so wild it becomes a trending hashtag. Because here on this channel, the drama never sleeps, the tea never cools, and the chaos always comes fresh. Thanks for riding through another episode of pure, unfiltered madness. And trust me, the next scandal is already brewing somewhere. Stay tuned, stay entertained, and stay alert. Because with Scandal Spark, the explosions never stop. The explosions never stop.